So the last time we were here, I said 25 was a hell of a year, but 26 is gonna be crazier. And 26 was insane. I mean, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, a lot of new experiences. Met a lot of new people. The network grew like crazy. Got into a whole new industry and literally turned shit up right away. And it's crazy because after I shot my video and I posted it last year when I turned 26, and I totally forgot about this, but literally the day after I ended up spending it at P. Diddy's crib. And like I've said from, before I moved to Miami, when I moved here, I started the music stuff. I always said that man was like a big inspiration to me, a big role model, because what he's done in the English space, I haven't seen done in the Spanish space, as far as like, the clothing, the music. And it's crazy because literally that happened. And this year was insane. I mean, from, getting into the Latin space with Gonzi, doing 3 festivals this year. We literally went, we did Miami, we did Vegas, we did Orlando. He got on the biggest playlist. His first song was literally on the biggest playlist on Spotify, which is crazy. And it has, the second biggest, and it has like 10,300,000 monthly listeners. But to start it off, I mean, as soon as the year started off, and I'm here looking at the memories and the moments that I saved on my phone, right away, right after my birthday. Oh, this was another thing too that I don't think I ever spoke about on social media, but literally that weekend, the Rolling Loud weekend, which was my birthday weekend, after we posted up the video, I went to go link up with Little Baby, and literally, I believe the week after that Monday or that Friday, I was gonna release these New York Yankee fitteds that I had, and I literally took half of them with me because I'm like, yo, you never know if like he's with people or he's with a bunch of celebrities or whatever. You never know who the man could be with. And I remember pulling up, and long story short, he ended up buying all the hats off of me, and that was crazy. And mind you, this was already after. Well, no, this was the day of when I posted up the video for my birthday, because I literally was with him on the 25th when that happened. So literally, I remember I forgot who I called up, but that moment was crazy. And then the day after that, after I turned 26, I ended up at P. Diddy's crib that night. And that was another thing that's crazy too, because like I have this video here.
Some motivation for y'all. A lot of y'all know I'm just a kid from Reading.
It's literally at his house, July 27th, 2021, 2:12 a.m. Like,
would have ever fucking thought. But like he said tonight, he's like, yo, a lot of people coming up to me, calling me this, calling me that. Just know it's all competition.
Like that right there was crazy. And that was literally the day after my birthday. And man, it was just a lot of crazy things that happened as far as the clothing. Getting the support from Yango as always. Like I said, Jay Wheeler, my boy Lonnie, when he played for the Spurs, because now he plays for the Lakers, he came out with the fitted on. I gave the hat to Jim Jones. I gave it to an Italian artist. I gave the hat to DJ Khaled. You know how crazy that is? When was the last time you ever seen DJ Khaled wear fitted? Like, you've never seen him wear a hat. You've never seen him wear fitted. I mean, within the past couple years. And that moment right there, that was crazy. So the way that happened was I met Jim Jones a couple days prior, and and that was super fire. That was like a legendary moment. So they were shooting the We Set the Trends remix music video, and long story short, I pulled up. Shout out to my boy Shula. He's the creative. He was the one that shot the whole video. He was the music director, creative director for the music video. He invited me to go. He's like, yo, Khaled's gonna be here. Pull up. You never know what could happen. And whenever an opportunity presents itself, I'm always there. I never miss out on it. So literally I got there, and I connected with, as soon as Khaled pulled up, I'm like, damn, like I need to connect with this team. And right away I ended up connecting with Chris Smokes. Shout out to you, bro. I connected with him, and because of him, I told him like, yo, I would love to give Khaled a fitted, and then we walked over to Khaled literally when he was leaving, and I basically told him about the fitteds. I showed him everybody who's worn it, and then literally my boy JT, he took pictures right away. So shout out to you, JT. He took all these pictures right away. He showed love. That was a moment for me, and that was crazy. Another dope thing that also happened was, linking up with Fabulous. That was also a special moment for myself. Another person that we got, I had gotten J Balvin, and I gave him a fitted during COVID. This was during COVID, when it was everybody masked up, you couldn't really be outside or whatever. And I was with him, let's say a month, 2 months ago, because he shot a music video with Quavo, and a bunch of other people. And I went and I gave him a fitted. And this picture right here, shout out to my boy Mike, who's J Balvin's security guard. He sent me this picture, and he texts me right after, and he's like, J Balvin told me to send this to you. And when he told me that, when he sent me this picture, when he sent me that picture and he sent me that text, I was just like, yo, that's fire. That shit is crazy. Akanhe wore the hat in a music video this year too, which was super, super dope. Like I said, man, a lot of crazy things that happened. Eladio, all right, so last year, Little Baby came out with a fighter for a boxing event and wore the pink fitted. This year, it was Eladio that came out with a fitted. He came out with a red VISONARE fitted, and that was super dope. Honestly, that was crazy. And yeah, the clothing was crazy this year. One of the biggest moments for me though was Nyango when he spoke about the brand in the song with Faruko. Mind you, before this was when I had linked up with Faruko. So when I linked up with Faruko, we did this video on August 25th. This was literally a month after my birthday. So this day when I linked up with him, mind you, he's getting a cut by my barber, and this is inside a sprinter. So it's literally just me, him, and Faruko. Shout out to my barber Jose. And I'm there speaking to Faruko, and we're talking about a bunch of stuff, a lot of personal stuff, not even on some music or clothing, whatever, just a lot of just, me just having questions and, just wanting to get advice from him and also his perspective. And I remember when he first got there, he told me, he was like, yo, he's like, Nyango spoke about you in a song. And I was like, no way. I'm like, nah, I don't believe you. So then he went inside the truck and he sat down, boom, he started getting a cut. And he gives me his phone and he plays the song. And when I heard the song, I was like, yo, this is crazy. It was a bar too. It was fire. It wasn't like it was whack. It's Nyango, you know what I'm saying? That shit was hard. And hold on, let me skip to it because we don't want to get hit with copyright, Right here. That was crazy. That was crazy. And like I said, the clothing aspect of this year was super dope, super inspiring. Oh, I also met this really dope producer by the name of Russian, super big. If you know who Russian is. And shout out to Jose for that.
I saw the vision from the first time he messaged me. That's why I work with him. It wasn't about.
So for me, what the dopest thing about the brand so far in the clothing is the fact that whenever somebody wears a hat, or somebody's just caught in the moment, and let's say they're wearing the hat and they say the word vision, it goes perfectly with the brand, because at the end of the day, that's what the brand is all about. It's all about people, chasing their vision and whatever it is they want to do, just them understanding that they can make it happen. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference between you or anybody else that's super successful. The only difference between you and them is time and, literally the action that you put behind it. And ending off with that, that was everything. That was pretty much, I forgot this, I'm gonna say this one last thing that we did on the clothing side, which was crazy for me. So I was in a studio with Bad Bunny and Nyango about 3 months ago or 4 months ago before he dropped his album. And literally that moment was crazy. So what had happened prior to that was Ñengo told me he was gonna be in the studio with Bad Bunny, and he's like, look, when I get there, I'm gonna let you know so you can pull up. So it's like 10:30, 10:45 at night, and Ñengo goes and he texts me and he's like, yo, estoy aquí, like come through. Boom, I pull up. Mind you, I had already been around Bad Bunny. Like I've been around him and his team for like it's probably been like 4 years now. Yeah, since 2018. So I've been in the studio with him for like 12, 14 hours, like 4 years ago with Arcangel, him and Tiny. And this time was different. Like when I got inside that room, like the energy and just like you gotta understand, this is now the biggest artist in the world. We're not talking about the Bad Bunny from 4 years ago. We're talking about that Bad Bunny now and being around his presence. And I remember, I took the hats with me, and boom, we're inside the studio. It's me, him, Ñengo, La Paciencia, Tanco, who's Ñengo's manager, road manager, and that was it. It was just us four. And Ñengo goes and tell him, he's like, oh, este el pana de la gorra, ta da 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 da. Mind you, I'm there with my fitteds, the Visionaire fitteds, and he's like, and Bad's like, oh, okay, Doodle. Mind you, Bad Bunny has met a shit ton of people. So he's probably gonna remember me. He's probably gonna not, but I'm gonna make sure that I bring something up so that he does remember. Like, oh shit, this is who this is. So he's like, oh, este el pana de la gorra, ta da da da. Bad's like, oh, okay, Doodle. Like, yo, what's up? Like, how you doing? Placer. And then, boom, I sit down there and I just have the hats in my bag and I'm just waiting because they're recording a song or whatever. And then after they're done recording, Nengo goes, he's like, oh, dale una, like, give him a hat. I'm like, yeah, of course. So boom, I take out the hats and I give him to Bad. And literally, I'm sitting right here and the mic is literally like, I'm sitting down and the mic is literally right in front of me and Bad's literally right in front of me recording. And when he was recording, I'm like, I felt it and I'm just like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like, this is the biggest artist in the world and I'm literally in their space right now. Like, insane. It was insane. And boom, I'm giving him the hats, and then I tell him like, yo, I was the guy who made you that custom vest like back in 2018 that you wore in Vegas. The one day we was in a studio in New York and I had brought it up to you after you wore it, that we were in the studio, it was me, you, Tiny, Arcangel, Calle 13, and he was like, oh shit. He was like, damn, now I remember him telling me, he's like, yo, I can't even go to like regular studios anymore. And that moment was crazy. Like on the clothing side, besides Khaled, like that moment right there was crazy because, like I said, man, this was the biggest artist in the world. So yeah, that was the clothing side this year. And then obviously, I got the tracksuit on. We're about to release this next. Collaborations coming. There's actually a couple collaborations coming. And the biggest blessing for me this year was my son. I wasn't expecting to have a child. When I turned 26, I didn't know what was gonna happen. But I found out I was having a child, and literally, like, when I found out, I was in shock. I mean, I wasn't in shock, but I was in shock, man. I wasn't expecting to have a second boy. So now I'm a father of two boys, and honestly, it's the best feeling ever. Like, whenever I feel down, whenever I feel, this year there was a lot of things that happened, but for me, like inside, there was a lot of lows because there was a lot of stuff that happened, like personally, that I just had to go through and I had to basically outgrow. And one thing that I've learned with just life in general is, you can't. Everything's not always gonna be peaches and creams. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's ever gonna be perfect. And as you continue to grow day by day, that's one thing you're gonna realize. And you just gotta keep going. You gotta have good people around you. You gotta make sure that it's just positive energy around you, and that you're at peace and you're focused on what you gotta do. Like, for instance, for myself, I have two kids. I have two boys. Now, besides that, I have a whole army behind me. I have two boys. I'm carrying a whole ship, literally. I have my team. We're doing the music stuff, the clothing stuff. I have my mom, my dad, my sister, my family. Like, I have a lot of stuff, so I can't slow down. You know what I'm saying? I gotta stay focused. So yeah, that was my biggest blessing this year. So, you know, when my boys see this, when you guys see this, like, at the end of the day, all these videos, and it's not only for the people, but it's mainly for you too. And if I have kids, if I have more kids in the future, because I want you guys to see that anything is possible. Like, don't matter how hard things get, I will literally go through everything I have to go through in order to give you guys the best future possible, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And yeah, so like I said, when you boys see this, when you guys are older, like, don't play. Like, get your fucking work done. If you want to learn something, go learn it. Don't complain. Don't get it by any means. Like, that's what your father did, so do the same thing. So now, I mean, the biggest thing this year too was the music side. I mean, we literally entered the music space. It's been 9 months now, and literally it's been insane. And literally all the pieces have, like, they're just falling into the puzzle, and everything's just coming together from our team. You know, literally the way I met the whole team. For instance, you know, shooting this video right now, we're shooting it with my boy Christian. He's behind the camera, and I literally met him from, what was it? Damn, how was it that we met, bro?
It was me. Little by little, I found your shit, and I just started.
And then we did the clothing.
I started liking, commenting, and then we did the. No, it was the first video. Was this video?
So this was the first video. We didn't even know we were gonna do the whole music thing. Like, the music thing just came along. So for instance, the way me and him met, the way me and Zach met, which is also another videographer, part of the team. I went to a music video. What?
Let's say videographer, Zach. You're gonna get.
Well, Zach, our keep this in the video too. Nah, keep this in the video. Zach, our creative director. My fault, bro. The way I met Zach was I went to a music video with Eladio, and Zach was there directing, doing his thing. Mind you, I was there, and I'm just like, okay, like, this is like, you know, this guy is, you know, the creative director. Let me at least connect with him, because, bro, like, you never know. This could potentially lead to maybe him wanting my brand, or like him connecting me with another artist he shoots with. And one thing led to another. Long story short, Zach ended up reaching out, and I forgot how he came on board. So boom, but that's how I met him. I met him because I went to that music video because of the clothing. Vinny, the way I met Vinny was, I think, like 2 years ago. 2 years ago. I went to this club called Central in Wynwood, and I went there with Mora, and I went there with Phantom. Phantom is a producer. He's a part of Subalo now. And this was actually before Bad dropped his album, or when he dropped his album. Then what was his last album called? I forgot. Yo Hago Que Me De La Gana. When he came out with that album, Mora was on the album, I believe, and he had a song with Bad. And I remember going up to Vinny, and I didn't know Vinny. And I go up to Vinny, and I'm like, yo, I'm such and such, this is my name. I'm here with Mora, I'm here with Phantom. You know, these guys, you know, the producer did like 12 songs on the album. I'm here with Mora, he has a song with Bad on the album, da 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 da. I'm like, yo, it'd be cool if you could play a song. Boom, I connect with him, he follows me on IG, whatever, we stay in the loop. Long story short, I speak to Gandhi, and I tell him about this DJ, because we're about to do our first show in Miami. He's like, and I tell him, like, yo, we need to figure out a DJ. So I told him about Vinny. Boom, I reached out to Vinny. Long story short, here we are today. So Vinny, Christian, Zach, Joey. I mean, then again, Joey's been Gandhi's best friend since they were 5. Oh, Angel. So Angel, who is our sound guy, is the guy who made this table that's behind me. Mind you, I never knew that I was gonna work with him as far as like being the sound guy, which is crazy too. Like, bro, when I first met him, him and his brother, they did the studio table, and that was it. And then long story short, he hits me up when things start moving for Gandhi, and he's like, yo, if you ever need a sound guy, like, yo, hit me up, I'm here. Boom. This is literally our team, like sound guy, video, photography. We literally have, all, like I said, all the pieces in the puzzle are just, they came together this year. And honestly, it's like, bro, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, how do you feel? Like, bro, it was crazy. Like,
It was all super genuine.
but the thing
It
with
wasn't, because it wasn't like you're saying, it just happened.
yeah, and the best thing is that we're all same. We're all not like, we're different in ways, but we're all similar in a way of like just being humble and just being genuine. And we're all passionate. You know what I'm saying? And that's what made this year as far as the music, amazing. From literally we did our first show in Miami. Well, the second show when we went to Las Vegas, literally with the whole team. Yeah. Like some people came in the picture, you know, things happen, whatever, and people come fill up their places. It's literally how it is. But nah, the team we have now, that's it. Like people are reaching out. People have been we're reaching out this year from other teams wanting to work with our people, which is insane.
And what's crazy is that we do.
Because our bond is so strong and our content is so fire. So like this all goes to say that literally this was how I met this is how we all met each other. This is how it all came together. And like I said, we started off in the Latin space with literally our first song, Casualidad. So prior to that, Gonzi was doing remixes on TikTok and they were all going viral. Everybody asking for his songs. And boom, we came out with Casualidad. And literally the day before it dropped, it was the day before the day of. Shout out to Eddie from Spotify. That guy changed our life. Eddie, your entire team. Even meeting, we ended up meeting, I met Jerry prior to it, I believe it was. He actually came by my office because he came to link up with Jiggy and I gave him some clothing. And because of that, I grew the relationship with him as far as the music side for Apple Music. So shout out to Jerry too. Getting the help from both of you guys helped us out so much. Not only did it help us out, it motivated us and it inspired us to just continue creating and just continue to keep growing because this music stuff isn't easy. Like there's over 50,000, 60,000 songs, uploaded daily on these DSPs. So for you to, get any type of access to the people that move the needle, it's crazy. So when you do have that, just be grateful for it. And I'm super grateful for, like I said, Eddie, Jerry, both of you guys, your teams. I'm very, very grateful for the support you guys have given us. So literally we came out with our first song, Casualidad. Right away, Gonzi was the cover of Urbano Rising. I don't know if you guys could see that. Eddie told me, boom, send me some pictures of Gonzi right away. Boom, he was the cover of Urbano Rising. And probably like a month later, he was on Baila Reggaeton. So if you don't know what Baila Reggaeton is the second biggest playlist on Spotify. It has like 10 million at the time, like 10,300,000, 10,400,000 monthly listeners. And we were literally on there for 12 weeks. And there has never been a new artist on a playlist like that for 12 weeks. At that, a new artist, and mind you, we're independent. So we literally did that with no major label, literally Spotify finding us, supporting us, and honestly, that helped out so much. And then also, Apple Music also put us on La Nueva Grasa. And it's funny because, bro, I didn't even realize this, but when I used to work FedEx, I used to be on Apple Music heavy. And I'm on both now, but Apple Music was my thing. So when I was working FedEx, I used to be on La Nueva Grasa, always listening to music. La Nueva Grasa and La Formula. And it's crazy to think now that my artist is on La Nueva Grasa, you know what I'm saying? Before I was working FedEx on their playlist, and now I'm connected with them and have my artist on the playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's crazy, dog. So, yeah, man, we got on Baila Reggaeton right away. Boom. In November 13th, Casualidad hit over 1 million streams. And then we got our first show. We did our first show here at Viva Urbana here in Miami. Shout out to Javi and, all the boys are part of that team. You guys have helped us out so much and given us the opportunity to, be on your platform. And it's very appreciative. I'm very grateful. And, every time we hop on that stage, I mean, when we did it the first time, there was only like 20 people in the crowd. When we did it the second time, when we did Vibra Urbana, we did it in an arena. This was the arena we fucking performed in. And we traveled, the entire team, we traveled to a whole nother state to go perform. And honestly, bro, that was crazy. Shout out to the team, dog. Shout out to the entire team. This was, we did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, like that was crazy. And shout out to the entire team. Everybody killed it. So yeah, Vegas was crazy. Just being able to go travel to another state to go perform, like not only that, and be with the team and joke around on the plane and joke around when we were in Vegas. We even shot a music video while we were there. You know, we did a lot, man. We had fun. We had a lot of fun. We came out with our first album, our first debut album. Honestly, like thinking about it now, I would more consider it like an EP. But you know, we did say it was his first album, and when we dropped that, he was a cover of Flo Urbano on YouTube, which is a YouTube playlist. Another thing, Apple Music, they gave us a banner on the Latin side. So when you go to Apple, well, during this time, when you go to Latin music, when you go to Apple Music and you go to search and you go to Latin, on the top, you normally see, I mean, you don't normally see, this is what it is. It's all like the major artists, if they're coming out with a single or an album, and literally we got that placement, like, yo, new album, Mi Fantasy Ganzi, and that was super dope. I mean, that was crazy. And also he was the cover of Future Hits Latin, which is another big playlist with like over 1 million monthly listeners. So yeah, that was crazy. So literally that happened with the first song. Then we came out with the album. Before that, we shot Fantasy, we shot Casualidad, A Mi Lado, Uno Pa'l Otro, Presidadio.
Came after the album.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the music videos. Presidadio, which was the visualizer, but I still consider that like a video because you guys did the acoustic. Am I missing another one? So we recorded 5 music videos. We recorded 5 music videos this year. We did 3 festivals. We got content at all 3 of those festivals. We got on the biggest playlist. Fucking combined now like 9 months, 10 months or whatever, he's already accumulated 7.2 million streams, 7.3 million streams in 10 months. Like I said, man, this year was fucking crazy. And then another thing too, I feel like I've said another thing a million times now in this video, was also meeting Kaye. You know, we met him this year, and a lot of dope things have happened for him too. A lot of like big producers have followed him and reached out to him, and that was also crazy because literally after we met, like it was a domino effect. Like it just happened, man. And all this goes to say that, like I said, man, don't ever put a limit on yourself. You never know what's gonna happen. If you want to try something new, go ahead and try it. And you know, the most important thing is just figuring it out as you go. And just understand that things are not gonna be perfect. Things are not gonna be, like I said, peaches and cream. You know, you're supposed to have your downs, like your really bad downs, like you're really like yo, it's supposed to happen. Nothing's ever supposed to be perfect. And if it's perfect, then I don't know, there's something sketchy about it. It's not supposed to be perfect. Life is all about growing. Like I said, man, this ride has been a journey so far, and it's been crazy. And like I said, we on a cruise ship right now. There's a bunch of waves. We're gonna go through all these waves because, you know, it's gonna happen, but eventually we're gonna cruise. And maybe later on there might be more waves, but we gonna get over them waves and we just gonna keep growing. You know, not only, you know, myself and Gandhi, the most important thing for me is our entire team, you know, individually, because it's never I, it's always we. And that for me is the motto. Like, with everybody we work with, like even, you know, I'm not gonna go into detail too much, but just people that we work with, I always tell them because they always say like you and you guys, and it's just like, nah, it's always we. For me and like the people that I work with is always we. It's always us, never them. You feel me? Like I said, for me this year was hard, man. Like this year was like really hard because, you know, a lot of people always say like, yo, focus on one thing at a time. And yo, don't get me wrong, like focus on one thing at a time. For me though, I'm a different person. I'm a different animal. I'm a different beast. And, you know, I like to figure things out as I go. But obviously, you know, as things continue to grow more and more, I will set things in place for the clothing. I will set things in place for as far as like you know, having workers for the clothing, having workers for the music, and just building teams in both areas. Because right now I'm building it, like the team that I have in the music side is can't be touched. The clothing, you know, it's growing little by little, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like one thing always picks up another. And 27, I don't even gotta say that 27 is gonna be crazy, because it already is. 27's already crazy. Like the things leading into 27, it's just already crazy. Like the things after this video, it's already crazy. Things are already happening. There's a lot of things that I don't know yet, but I'm gonna find out eventually. And yeah, man, thank you for everything. Thank you for all the support, you know, at 26. All the shit that I went through in 26. Because like I said, man, it's helping me grow. It's helping me become a better father, a better brother, a better son, a better friend. And shout out to my boy Moses. I mean, you literally, like, you've been there from the gate, bro, and you've helped me out so much this year. But yeah, like I said, 26 was crazy. And just stay tuned for 27, because it's gonna be wild.
Que van con la gorra visionaria.